The Evolution of Primates by Margot Stanton. The study of primates is fascinating in the fact that it allows us to examine and understand the complexity of how us, primates, have evolved throughout time in the past 65 million years. It enables us to reveal the evolutionary details of not only the physiological changes primates have gone through, but also the behavioral changes we have adapted to. Primates around the world vary in size from weighing about 30 grams to weighing up to about 440 pounds. Many primates also contain features that distinguish them from other mammalian groups. Some of these include such things as opposable thumbs, relatively large brains in comparison to body size, binocular vision, and a trend towards holding the torso upright leading to bipedalism. The primate cranium in itself reveals a lot of information about the evolution of primates. One specific feature of the skull that indicates the details of the evolutionary trend towards bipedalism is the foramen magnum, a hole in the occipital bone. In primates that travel on four legs, the foramen magnum is located towards the back of the skull. However, as primates begin to evolve towards bipedal locomotion, the foramen magnum moves towards the bottom center of the cranium. This makes certain that the skull remains perpendicular to the spinal column in order for the primate to maintain an upright posture. In primates such as tarsiers, the Old World monkeys, and the New World monkeys, we see the foramen magnum located near the very back of the skull, signifying their quadrupedal locomotion. However, as we progress towards gorillas and humans, the location of the foramen magnum becomes more centralized on the bottom of the skull. This indicates the primate's ability to balance and center its body into a bipedal position. With this said, the shape of the spine is also detrimental to a bipedal behavior. The upper and lower spine of bipedal primates must be curved to absorb the shock of the bipedal gait. The curvature helps transmit the weight of the upper body to the pelvis and legs. For example, in lemurs, there are two types of ways in which they travel. Some lemurs are horizontal leapers, whereas others are vertical leapers. Lemurs that leap horizontally were found to have spines that were nearly straight. On the other hand, lemurs that leap vertically and tend to position themselves with more weight towards their hind legs had spines with a more substantial curve. This presents the fact that the more a primate obtains an upright position, the more curved their spine will be. In humans, the curve in the lumbar vertebrae allows for the body to be positioned inward over the pelvis and positions the weight of the human trunk forward over the hips. Moreover, this makes it more possible for human legs to be straightened. Another evolutionary trait that helped primates function in the bipedal manner is the shape of their pelvis and sacrum. With bipedalism, the blades of the pelvis, called iliac blades, are shorter and broader, and the sacrum, which anchors the pelvis's two side bones, become larger. With this evolutionary trend, the pelvis forms a sort of basket that is able to balance the weight of the trunk and supports this weight with less stress. Additionally, the iliac blades of the pelvis begin to rotate inwards to support and protect the viscera. In apes, for example, the pelvis is narrow and flat, and the iliac blades of the pelvis are not rotated inwards. As primates evolve closer to the species hominid, these major adaptations take place to allow for the upright posture of bipedal primates. The blades of the iliac begin to rotate inwards to support the internal organs, and the sacrum and the pelvis also widen in order to provide support of the viscera. Also, with the widening of the pelvis, the hominid can now balance its own weight and maintain stability while standing on its own 2 feet. As you can imagine, changes in the cranium, spine, pelvis, and sacrum are not all that is needed to achieve bipedal behavior. Very important adaptations in limbs are also needed in order to enable primates' ability to walk on 2 legs. In quadrupedal primates, their knees cannot extend, nor can their legs lock as straight as humans. Instead, they use muscle power to support their body in a more strenuous manner when attempting to stand on 2 legs or walk in an upright position. In humans, we have adapted thigh bones that slope inwards from the hip to the knee. This places our feet under our center of gravity for a more attainable sense of balance. We also have developed muscles on the sides of our hips that contract to prevent our bodies from falling to one side when all our weight is placed on one foot mid-stride. Prosimians and anthropoids do not have the same evolutionary trait, and their thigh bones do not slope inwards towards their knees. This results in their need to walk and stand with their feet wide apart. Their gluteal abductors are also significantly weaker than ours, so they have to rock their entire body from side to side during each step in order to shift their center of gravity over whichever leg is holding their weight. Moreover, bipedal primates have developed longer legs, which allow the use of natural swing of the limb to prevent the need to use muscles to create this motion. But why is it beneficial to be able to perform bipedal locomotion? Some reasons include that it was beneficial for certain primates due to living circumstances in mixed woodlands and grasslands. Being bipedal while living in these specific environments would allow primates to see further distances when moving around areas with tall grasses, and the upright position would also allow for the body to reduce the amount of heat absorbed from the sun due to the decreased surface area to sun exposure. Furthermore, being able to carry ourselves on two limbs creates two limbs that we are able to now take advantage of, our arms. Bipedal primates were now able to perform tasks while traveling instead of having to rely on all four limbs as a mode of transportation. The cranium of primates continues to reveal its importance in primate evolution with its alteration in size. As primates evolve into more intelligent and more capable beings, the cranium becomes dramatically larger. If you compare the size of the cranium of a prosimium, such as tarsiers, lemurs, or galagos, to the anthropoids, such as Old and New World monkeys, to finally the cranial size of apes and humans, you can clearly see the evident growth in size. The reason for this remarkable increase in size is due to the increase in brain size. As the cranial capacity of primates increase, it allows for the cerebral cortex, a thick sheet of cells on the outside of the brain, to expand. This expansion creates a much larger surface area, allowing for a substantial amount of neural connections to be formed. Because the cortex is the primary location of high brain function, as it brings sensory information together with information of the body's internal states, having a larger cranial capacity to support a larger brain and its cortex enables the primate to move beyond simple reflexive actions to produce more intricate actions, and enables the primate to gain the ability to process more stimuli, which in turn heightens intelligence level through a more detailed thought process. Look at humans today. We are the product of evolution over a substantial period of time. The abilities we have gained through change and adaptations in our environments have allowed our species to flourish into the intelligent, productive beings that we are today. It's interesting to think of how such intricate, small changes over such a large span of time have enabled us to experience the current world we live in. Still to this day, evolution is occurring. What could our world be like millions of years from now?